Hey guys, in this video I'll be talking about my top 5 favorite game mice that I've used so far. And at the end I'll be talking about some honorable mentions as well. And all mentions I'll be talking about mice that are good, but to the ones I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I'll do a video on them soon, who knows when, but yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and now let's get right into the number 5 spot. And here in the number 5 spot is kind of, I know a lot of people are, or y'all are gonna say, why is this mouse in number 5 spot? Mainly because I like the shape of this mouse more than the Super Light 2 shape. Because to me, for the shape for Super Light 2, it's just too safe, and it's hard for me to find a consistent grip with that mouse. But whenever I use this mouse, which is the Logitech G303 Shroud Edition, this mouse is enjoyable to use in claw grip. Even though this mouse released back in 2022, I know it has Armor 20M's the original Hero sensor, and it's 75 grams. I still do like the shape of this mouse as well. And I know the side button positioning is kind of interesting since they're like not in the middle where some other mice do have them. But whenever I still find it easy to use the side buttons anyways, no matter what position they are in. And the scroll wheel, I know it's pretty loud and it's made of rubber, but it has a DPI button, USB-C for charging, and do I have the receiver still here? Yes, I do have the receiver still here. And to me, I think this mouse is much better for claw grip than the Super Light 2, and I did not get any kind of discomfort using claw grip with this mouse. And I know it's not the best or like the fastest mouse out right now, but it's still really good for claw grip. But be aware if you want to buy this mouse, because it is a fingerprint magnet. I have used this mouse a while ago, I think a few months ago, but whenever I use this mouse again, it is still a bit of a fingerprint magnet. So that's one thing to note as well. But honestly, other mice in this video are also fingerprint magnets, or at least a few of them are. But yeah, so this mouse, when I got it, I believe I got this mouse like last year, and I think it was like $70 as well. But for claw grip, it's just really good shape. Yes, it is. Fingertip grip, palm grip. No, it's only for claw grip as well, and it's like 74, 75 grams. But yeah, so the Logitech G303 Shroud Edition is going our 5 spot since I know it's like the heaviest mouse on this list, and the internals are somewhat outdated. But for me, I just like the shape. I play good with this mouse still. I aim really well with it, but the internals are outdated, and it's 70-something grams, which a lot of people are like, oh, that's so heavy, but honestly, I really don't care about the weight. But yeah, so the Logitech G303 Shroud Edition is going to be in the number 5 spot. In the number 4 spot, we have the Fnatic X Lamzu Thorn. This is an ergo mouse, and the only ergo mouse in this list. And the reason why it's the number 4 spot, my asking, is because, for one, whenever I got this mouse, I was like, oh, this is going to be a really good palm grip mouse. But whenever I actually used it, I only found it more comfortable in claw grip. And mainly because due to the size, it is not as large as something like the Super Light 2. This is the ergo shape of that mouse. I probably won't do a review on this mouse since it's pretty much the same mouse just with a different shape. But it is not as large as this mouse is. I do find this mouse more comfortable. I just really do, the clicks are pingy and they're not my favorite optical switches. Meanwhile, the Lamzu does use various optical switches, but they do feel a little bit hollow. They feel a little bit cheap. But considering the price of this mouse released at $100. This mouse released at $160. But it's just a Ergo Superlight 2. But this mouse is 54 grams as well. Has a 3395 sensor. Has good side buttons. Has good scroll wheel, and the build quality on my unit, even considering lightweight, I do not get any creak and flexing at all. Even despite its weight, I have used the Lamzu Atlantis Mini in the past, and that mouse was also very solid. I get no creak and flexing. I get no rattle. The skates are really good as well. But if you do have like medium or small size hands, I can see you guys palm gripping this mouse. But for people who have large hands like me, you're gonna have to claw grip this mouse. And I believe this mouse is close to the Zowie EC2 B or C. I have no idea. Since I'm so crazy, but I have never tried a Zowie mouse at all in my life. Maybe I'll try a Zowie mouse out sometime soon. But the reason why it's number 4 is because the switches aren't the greatest. And also, whenever I check the Lamzu's website, it says his mouse is out of stock. Mainly because they have a new Ergo mouse out at the moment. That's the best sensor. And also because this is the only Lamzu mouse that ever uses race optical switches as well. But everything about this mouse is really good besides the switches. And they don't make this mouse anymore. And also, this is number 4 spots because it's a little bit too small for me. But yeah, I mean, it's still a good mouse. It's just they don't make it anymore. And everything else said about this mouse. It does have 4,000 Hz polling rates, but whenever you did get this mouse, whenever it released, the Fnatic edition only included a 4,000 Hz polling rate receiver. But if you get the other colorways, you do have to buy the 4,000 Hz receiver separately. But the mouse does have web-based software. It's really good. But everything said about this mouse is why it's in number 4 spot. But yeah, so let's get right into number 3 spots now. So number 3 spot, I know it's crazy, but it is a wired mouse. And this is the Endgame Gear OP18K by Endgame Gear. And when this mouse released, it's like, it's saying like a wired mouse. And I know y'all are gonna say a wired mouse in 2025 is in your top 5 tier list. I know some might sound crazy, but hear me out. One, this is one of the fastest gaming mice out there. This mouse is also $75 when they're released. And this mouse does have KLGX switches, which are mechanical switches, but they are some of the fastest switches on the market. And I believe the switch data could be at 8,000 Hz polling rates, or it's always at 8,000 Hz polling rates. And in their software, it does have this thing called KLGX speed mode, which make the switches really fast. And the cable is actually one of the best cables I've used. But you can also change the cable as well if you want to. And the coating is one of the grippiest coatings out there as well. And they also do have the XM2AK, which is a larger shape of this mouse. But if you're someone who wants to use this mouse with fingertip grip or claw grip with like large size hands, you're definitely going to find this mouse comfortable. But I would probably recommend a mouse bungee since it is a wired mouse. Every time I use a wired mouse, I will use a mouse bungee. But the cable is really good. It has an upward angle, so it would cause no dragging on your desk or your mouse pad. And what else is there? So, and also this mouse is like very solid. I did not get any creaking or flexing. And the cool power about this mouse is you can change all the switches, but some switches do not support the speed mode, but some of them do. I believe Endgame Gear also tells you guys which switches are compatible with the GX speed mode. And also the scroll on this mouse is really good. Side buttons are really nice and crispy because they're using full-size switches in this mouse. The skates are really good. And the crazy about this mouse is that it includes a screwdriver and also this mouse only has 2 screws, so it's easy to take apart. And yeah, so if you want to get this mouse, I believe they still do have this mouse, but I believe they do have the updated version of this mouse as well. And they did release a dark frost colorway, which was like a translucent purple colorway. Or not dark frost, it's some purple colorway. But they do have 4 colorways of this mouse, but they did release a purple colorway. I'm not sure what they call the colorway, but it's like some purple colorway. But yeah, so if you want to get this mouse, I'm sure Endgame Gear still does have it on the website, or you can get the wireless version of this mouse, which this mouse, whenever I got it, has a 3395 sensor, which is a really good sensor still. And it still does have the same sensor as Lamzu, which I think I forgot to talk about, but yeah, this is a really good mouse. But if you were considering getting this mouse, I would recommend getting mouse bungee, since it feels wireless with it almost feels like it's wireless with a mouse bungee. But the reason why it's number 3 is because a lot of people probably wouldn't want to buy a wired mouse. And I know a lot of people probably won't like the shape of this mouse, but personally I do find it comfortable for claw grip for my large size hands. But the Endgame Gear OP18K is going to be in the number 3 spot. In the number 2 spot, we have the Finalmouse ULX. And the first version of this mouse, I believe, released back in late 2023. And this is the latest ULX from Finalmouse. I wasn't able to get my hands on the Ultralight X Raw Competition or any Prophecy units, but this is my 3rd ULX and probably my favorite ULX. And this is also the classic size, so you do have a small and medium size of this mouse. And this is the second, the most expensive mouse on this list. But when this mouse did release, it's $189, but this is the first one to release $175. And the reason why it's in number 2 spot is mainly because it's of its price, and also because they release some colorways, but they don't make a lot of them as well. And when this colorway releases only like 10,000 units. But the reason why it's number 2 spot is because I have used the Ninja Air 58 in the past, but this is, even though this is the largest size they have of this mouse, is not as large as Air 58. But personally, I like the shape of this one more than Air 58, simply because Air 58 was like a very large mouse. And this mouse is made of carbon fiber, and this size weighs 40 grams, and also has the best mechanical switches, being quantum blue so pink dots. And this mouse does have no holes on the sides. My two other ULXs, I have the batch 2 medium, I have the classic size ASU edition. But yeah, also I know a lot of people hate Finalmouse for the build quality, but my ASU and this one, I have no build quality issues. I cannot get the size flex on this one, but this on the bottom, it does have some flexing, but honestly, it's something you don't do to a mouse. In the back, right here, there's some flexing, but my ASU does have a little bit more, and my Batch 2 has way more flex on the back, but it's something you don't do with mouse. And the side buttons are really good as well. Scroll wheel is good, even though it's not rubberized. It's still pretty decent. And for me, this mouse I really do find comes from claw grip. This has web-based software, and the software, the web software for this mouse, I believe is better than Lamzu's web-based software. And also the receiver shows the battery life. And the battery life on this mouse is really good as well, but also depends on what polling rate you do choose with this mouse. And I know a lot of people really don't like Finalmouse, saying like it's hyped, it's overpriced, blah blah blah. But this is the first Finalmouse released at $175, making the Superlight 2 more expensive than this mouse. And I believe this mouse, to me, the shape and everything about this mouse is better than the Superlight 2. But I know a lot of people don't like this mouse, but personally, I like the shape of this mouse. I know the coding isn't as good as my ASU units, but I like the shape. The clicks are some of my favorites. Scroll wheel feels pretty good as well. Side buttons are good. But yeah, I believe they're releasing one more ULX before the end of the year. I'm not sure when, but I probably won't buy the last ULX of this year, since it's probably going to be the same. It's going to be the same shape with the three sizes. Probably just a different colorway, but people are saying they're going to release a new shape, so we'll see how that goes. But this mouse is going to be number 2 spot, mainly because I know a lot of people do have QC issues with their mice. Boardsy had a problem with his, with like some grinding, but my units does not have any of that whatsoever. I think I could possibly just got a good unit as well, but who knows. But I'm gonna put in number 2 spot in this video. But now let's get into the number 1 spot. And the number 2 spot, the number 1 spot is going to be the Razer Viper V3 Pro. Possibly the better Superlight 2. Mainly because it's lighter. To me, I actually like the shape more than Superlight 2. Oops, I just realized I'm using the mouse right now. And what's there? So I know the switches are using Razer Gen 2 optical switches. They did just release the green colorway yesterday, but the reason why I really like this mouse. Oh snap! The reason why I like this mouse is because the shape is really good. The smooth touch coating, even though it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, I really do like this coating. Side buttons are good. Scroll wheel. As someone who's used a few Razer mice in the past, I really do like to feel the scroll wheel. Skates are really good. The sensor is using Razer Focus Pro 35K sensor. And as someone who has used the Viper lineup, like the Razer Viper Mini, the Razer Viper Ultimates, the Razer Viper V2 Pro, yes, this is my yes, I have used all three of those Vipers, but all of them were the same shape. But whenever Razer released the Razer Viper V3 Hyperspeed, which is the same shape, just a more downgraded version of the Razer Viper V3 Pro. A lot of people were shocked, like, this is a Razer Viper mouse? But like, I'm going to tell you the reason why is because, like, back when the Razer Death Adder V3 Pro released, it was a different shape than the Razer Death Adder V2 Pro. And a lot of people did like the change to that lineup, but personally, I do like the shape of the original Viper series and this mouse. And people say the white coating is really good on this mouse, but this is only Razer Viper VC Pro I do have. But honestly, I really don't care about the coating on this mouse. It's just I do like this coating, even though it does attract fingerprints on this mouse because of this coating. This mouse is really comfortable, and I like this mouse better than Superlight 2. And I believe this is the I'm gonna say right now, this is the Superlight 2 killer because it's lighter. To me, it has a better shape, and overall, I think you guys should probably get this mouse over Superlight 2. But I know a lot of people do like Superlight 2 because of its shape and the performance, blah blah blah. Because your favorite pros are using it. But I still prefer this mouse over Superlight 2. And I do find a better grip of this mouse and a more consistent grip of this mouse. Because honestly, whenever you're using Superlight 2, but like say you go to like go in and go back to your desk, honestly, do you remember what grip you're using? Because honestly, it took me a very long time, even though I have used original Superlight in 2021. It was still difficult. I did aim really good with that mouse. It's just it took a while for me to find a consistent grip of that mouse because the shape was too safe. But whenever I got this mouse, it was like way easier to grip this mouse than the Superlight 2. And this is grip I use. It's claw grip, or relaxed claw grip. Like where my palm sits close to the back. But yeah, this is how I grip the mouse. And it's very comfortable to use. And then they do have like the Sentinels Edition, Faker Edition, and the currently released green colorway. Which I'm gonna say right now is probably they should call it. It's the esports screen. They should call it the Razer Viper VC Pro Alien Edition because it does not look like it. I don't know why they call it esports screen. I wish to me it probably looked better if it's like a more darkish green, but like this is probably going to be my main mouse for a while. I mean, the Finalmouse ULX is really close. I do use that mouse as well. And I do use OP1K. But I mean, every mouse in this list I do use. It's just, I prefer the Razer Viper VC Pro as well. But now, I'm going to put up pictures talking about the honorable mentions in this video. And the first honorable mention is going to be the WL Mouse Beast X. And this mouse is pretty much the... Let me actually do this over here. This mouse is pretty much a Finalmouse clone, but it's made about a magnesium. And also, they do this is the one that with the holes on the sides or the lines on the sides. They do have a version with no holes on the side, but this is pretty much a Finalmouse clone, but it's always in stock, unlike the Finalmouse. And I have not tried the WL mouse. yet, but people say it's really good. But personally, I haven't tried it yet. I mean, I did try, or I did use the Starlight 12 for Finalmouse, but supposedly it's really good. It does, I believe, the regular size or the larger size does have optical switches in it, which I did use on my Sword V2. And it does have, I believe, a 3950 or 3395 sensor, and I mean, it's always it's cheaper than the ULX, and it does have a lot more colorways. And I remember whenever this mouse did release, people were confused, like, is this a scam or something? But it turns out it was real all this time, and a lot of people do like this mouse. It does have a medium, and a large size color. No, large size as well. But people saying like, hey, you should to like use to use size hand comparisons. Is that I did watch Bad CG's tech video on this mouse, and supposedly large size of the double mouse Beast X is like a medium size or something like that. But I have not tried this mouse at all. But supposedly people say it's good. Maybe I'll try it in the future. Who knows? But that's gonna be one of the. This is our first mouse in the honorable mentions in this video. But on to the next honorable mention. And the second honorable mention is going to be the Lamzu Maya X. People also say this is better than the Superlight 2. Maybe because of its weight, like in 40 something grams. And it does have armor optical switches as standard. It has 8,000 Hz polling rates. I believe it has a 3950 or 3395 sensor. I think it has a 3950. And supposedly people say it's better Sublime 2. And the price is also $120. And it's always in stock, people say. I mean, some colorways aren't in stock, some of them are. But also, they do have a regular sized version. Not regular size, a smaller sized version of this mouse as well, which is a little bit smaller than Maya X. And they do have the Fnatic edition. But personally, I think this is my favorite colorway. This is the Purple Shadow colorway. I think it looks really cool. But I only tried the Lamzu Atlantis Mini and the Lamzu Thorn, as I said before. But maybe in the future I will do a review on this mouse as well. I haven't tried a lot of mice. I haven't tried a lot of new mice in quite a while from like Lamzu or whatever. But maybe I'll try this mouse sometime soon. But next, let's talk about the last honorable mention. And finally, the last honorable mention is going to be the Hit Scan Hyperlights. People say that this is close to the Razer Viper Mini in terms of shape, and also this mouse does have 8,000 Hz polling rate and is $90. Only $90. Yes, you heard that right. This mouse is $90. And does have all my optical switches as well. I'm not sure the software it has to be downloaded or it's web based, and it's supposed to be really good as well. I believe it's also in like a 40-gram range, and I mean I haven't tried it yet, but people say it's really good as well. And I believe the bottom of this mouse does have holes in it, but not like there's a little bit small on the bottom of the mouse. But personally, I haven't tried this. All the honorable mentions I have not tried at all. But people say they're good. But maybe sometime soon I'll try to get my hands on the honorable mentions, or maybe in the future I'll try do a review on the Zowie mouse or Vaxi mouse. Since I have not tried a Zowie or Vaxi mouse, I know I might sound crazy, right? But yeah. So, and I believe this mouse does have 33.95 cents or 39.50. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.